Have you ever been completely alone at home and then heard footsteps upstairs? That's how it started for me. At first, I thought it was the storm outside, until I found fresh claw marks carved into my closet door. The scariest part? I heard my mother's voice calling me, but my mom died 5 years ago. The house was too quiet. Not peaceful quiet, the suffocating kind. The kind that seemed to press in from all sides, amplifying the faintest creak of wood, the softest sigh of wind through a crack in the window. Ethan leaned back on the couch, phone in hand, scrolling through meaningless updates. He told himself he liked nights like this. Alone, no interruptions, no family clattering around, no roommates barging in. Just him and the house. But deep down, he hated silence. It gave space for his mind to wander, to imagine. The digital clock on the TV stand glowed faintly. 11:56 p.m. The storm outside had knocked out the internet hours ago, leaving him with no Netflix, no gaming, nothing to pass the time except downloaded music and his own restless thoughts. He had told himself he wouldn't spook himself tonight. He wasn't a kid anymore. Ghost stories and shadows were just tricks of the brain. Still, when the lights flickered once, twice, then steadied again, he felt his stomach tighten. It began with footsteps, soft, deliberate, not outside in the rain, but inside, upstairs. Ethan froze, ears straining. His first thought was the pipes. Houses creaked all the time, but this was different. It wasn't random groaning wood or rattling vents. It was rhythm. Step, step, step. He muted his phone, heart racing. Then silence. He waited, breath shallow, staring at the ceiling as though he could see through it. The footsteps had stopped directly above him, his bedroom. Forcing a laugh, he shook his head. Old house, just the storm. But he didn't believe it. At 12:15 a.m., he finally gathered enough courage to check upstairs. He grabbed the heavy flashlight from the kitchen drawer, gripping it tight as a weapon more than a light source. Each step on the staircase groaned beneath his weight, echoing in the emptiness. At the top, he paused. The hallway stretched before him, doors closed, shadows thick. His bedroom door at the far end stood ajar. He was certain, absolutely certain, he had shut it earlier. The air was colder here. His breath fogged faintly as he pushed the door open. The flashlight beam swept across the room. His bed, his desk, his closet door. Everything was exactly as it should be, except the closet door. It was open. He told himself he was being ridiculous. Just close the door and go back downstairs. He stepped closer. The flashlight beam shook in his hand. The closet yawned open, black and endless. Clothes hung motionless inside, shadows tangled between them. Then, a whisper, faint, right against his ear. Ethan. He spun, slamming his back against the wall. The room was empty, no one behind him. His heart thundered. His flashlight flickered, and from the closet came a sound. Low, guttural, like something dragging claws against the floor. Ethan slammed the closet shut, twisting the lock. He backed away, panting. In the silence that followed, he almost convinced himself he'd imagined it, until he saw the marks. Long, jagged scratches scored deep into the inside of the closet door. Fresh, with splintered, grooves still raw, as though something inside had clawed at it, trying to get out. He didn't sleep in his bedroom that night. By 1:30 a.m., Ethan sat huddled on the living room couch, blanket wrapped around him, flashlight on the table beside him. He tried to stay awake, eyes fixed on the muted TV screen playing static, and then movement. At the corner of his vision by the staircase, a shape, tall, thin, wrong. He snapped his head toward it. Nothing there, just shadows. But when he blinked, the afterimage remained burned into his sight. Long limbs, head tilted too far, eyes glowing faintly white. The stairs creaked. Step, 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 coming down. Ethan scrambled for his phone, intending to call someone, anyone, but the screen glitched, freezing before going black. The battery had been at 70%. Now it was dead. He grabbed his flashlight, shining it toward the staircase. Empty. The kitchen window above the sink reflected his living room faintly. In it, he saw himself crouched, flashlight shaking. And behind him, a figure, right there, standing inches away. He spun, swinging the light. The beam cut across empty air. Nothing behind him. When he turned back to the reflection, the figure was still there. And it was smiling. At 2:04 a.m., his phone buzzed. Impossible. It had been dead. He picked it up with trembling hands. The screen glowed faintly. An incoming call. Mom. He answered instantly. Mom? Mom. Thank God, But the voice that answered wasn't hers. Ethan? It crooned, distorted, wet, like gurgling through water. Why did you lock me in the closet? He dropped the phone, clattered to the floor, screen shattering. From upstairs, a door slammed open. The noises grew worse. Scratches, but not from the closet anymore. From inside the walls. The sound of fingers dragging across drywall, of something crawling just out of sight. He pressed his ear against the wall in terror, and heard breathing, slow, wet, heavy, as though the walls themselves were alive. By 3 a.m., every light in the house flickered out. Total darkness swallowed everything. The only light left came from his flashlight, dimming by the minute. Then another sound, a door creaking open. From below, the basement, the smell hit first. Rot, mold, something older and fouler than any damp cellar should hold. The beam of his flashlight caught the staircase leading down. Blackness beyond. And then movement, something crawling up. He slammed the basement door shut, locking it. The sound continued. Scratching, knocking, laughter. At 3:33 a.m., Ethan couldn't take it anymore. He stood in the center of the living room, flashlight in one hand, kitchen knife in the other. I know you're here, he screamed, voice cracking. Show yourself. The silence that followed was worse than noise. Then the temperature plummeted. His breath billowed in white clouds, and it stepped into view. Tall, skeletal, its limbs too long, joints bending wrong. Its face stretched smooth except for a gaping mouth lined with teeth. Eyes, empty sockets glowing faintly white. It moved without sound, gliding closer, head tilting with unnatural jerks. Ethan raised the knife, but his arm shook violently. The entity stopped inches away, leaning close. This whisper was colder than ice. You let me in. The lights surged back on. Ethan's scream echoed through the house, cut short. When the neighbors found him the next morning, he was sitting calmly on the couch, staring at the static-filled TV. His phone lay shattered. The closet upstairs was wide open, claw marks torn deep into the floor. He smiled when they spoke to him, but his eyes glowed faintly white. The house sits empty now. No one dares stay after dark. They say if you walk past on stormy nights, you'll see a figure in the upstairs window. Sometimes it's Ethan, sometimes it's not, but it's always smiling. Would you dare spend a night alone in that house? If the story made you look over your shoulder, then hit the like button and share it with someone who loves a good scare. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell, because darker, more terrifying stories are coming, and you don't want to miss what's waiting in the shadows.